Welcome to The Jeweler's View. I'm Courtney Gray, metalsmith, educator, and creative business strategist. After 25 years in the jewelry industry, running one of the country's top metalsmithing schools, coaching artists, advising companies and organizations, and hosting interviews with some of the best in the craft, I finally created the kind of support I wish I'd had from the start. This podcast is a part of that. Each week, I share the lessons I had to learn the hard way so you can build a rhythm that supports your creative work, your values, and the life and business you actually want. Find tools, coaching, and my Transform course at CourtneyGrayArts.com, and let's get to work. I've learned over the years that the tools you choose shape more than your work. They shape how you feel at the bench. That's one reason I've always respected Guess Wine. For over 100 years, they've supported jewelers, stores, and manufacturers, not just with tools, but with real people you can reach when you need help. Explore more at guesswine.com. This week is so exciting for me, and I hope for you too. This marks 1 full year of The Jeweler's View. 52 weeks, 52 episodes. Every single one written, recorded, edited, and shared by me while running a business, coaching makers, teaching, and living through all the ups and downs that come with it. When I started this show, I really wasn't sure how long I would be able to keep it going. But I knew I needed a rhythm, something that held me accountable to my creative voice and kept me connected to this community. And that's exactly what this podcast became. So before we go any further, I just want to send out a huge thank you. Thank you for listening, for sharing, for leaving a review, for sending messages that remind me you're out there on the other end. Otherwise, I'm just here talking to myself, and that's only fun to a certain extent. You've helped turn this show from an idea into something that truly matters. Creating this podcast has been cathartic in ways I really didn't expect. It's helped me stay focused, creative, grounded, especially in a year that's been full of change. Some of you know this isn't my first time behind a microphone. I used to host and produce Rio Grande's For the Love of Jewelers podcast, a show full of in-depth conversations with artists and industry leaders. Those interviews were really wonderful, and I learned a lot about the power of story and connection and history. But The Jeweler's View, this is different. This one's way more personal. It's shorter, it's weekly, and it belongs to me, so it's mine. It's a real-time reflection of what it looks like to build, grow, and navigate a creative life. And every single week, I hit publish, not because it's perfect, but because I said I would. I made a commitment. That's commitment, not polish, not perfection, not validation by so-and-so first, just hitting send and trusting that you'll reach the right people. A few months after I launched this show, I was also building my course, Transform Your Jewelry Business, which you've heard me talk about again and again. I was literally creating it as I taught it. I was recording the lessons one week and teaching them the next, building PDFs, meeting with students, and refining as I went. I was on fire. This was actually, it was a little stressful, but it was fun. It lit a fire in me again. It reminded me what I'm capable of. And right in the middle of that, of course, good old universe, my son began facing serious mental health challenges, along with my mom at the same time. That was one of the hardest seasons of my life, personally. There were moments when it felt like everything could fall apart. I didn't know what was going to happen moment to moment. And there were moments when I thought about pulling back on the course, on the podcast, on all of it. But the act of showing up, of keeping this rhythm, actually became an anchor during this time. It gave me something solid to hold on to when life felt super unpredictable and shaky. That's the power of ritual. That rhythm extended beyond the microphone. And this year, I also sent a weekly email every single week for 52 weeks. Each one a little note to my community, part teaching, part reflection, part encouragement. If you aren't already on that list, I want you to join this Creative Momentum email list at CourtneyGrayArts.com. It's where I share stories, insights, support this podcast each week, and I give out tips and tricks to support your life as a maker. It's become one of my favorite ways to stay connected, and honestly, one more ritual that keeps me grounded, keeps me on point. Because when you do something consistently, when you keep showing up, it starts to shape your identity. You begin to trust yourself again. This time of year, though, I have to admit, I start to feel that familiar heaviness. A little bit of self-doubt creeps in. The light shifts, and I feel my energy shift too. I've lived with depression and nervous system overwhelm long enough to recognize when it's creeping back in. And I'm feeling that now. Started feeling heavy again. So I'm giving myself some space. I'm doing the bare minimum to stay consistent, keep showing up, still feel accomplished while I'm resting. Next week, I'm going on a spa trip with my dear friend, Karen, and I plan to do absolutely nothing productive. Because after a year like this, I need rest, reflection, and stillness. And I deserve time to celebrate all that I was able to accomplish this year. That's part of our rhythm, too. Ritual does not mean push nonstop. It means showing up for what keeps you well, including rest. Before we go further, I have to read a review. That's what I'm going to do the next couple episodes to celebrate this year. This one hit me deeply because it captures what this podcast has really been about. It was titled, Courtney is a Pro. I don't know about that, but I'll take it. From Zen and Psychology. So when you leave a review on Apple, I can't see your name. I can only see your handle. But this was left, and I loved reading these. So here goes. I first worked at her amazing nurturing community, Creative Side Jewelry Academy in Austin. Courtney knows her stuff. She's a talented jewelry artist, successful business owner, and a generous teacher. What's great about her podcast, The Jeweler's View, is the lived experience, empathy, and knowledge that she brings. Her shared wisdom can be applied to various aspects of personal growth. Courtney, keep the episodes coming. That means the world to me right there, because that's exactly what I've hoped to build here. A space where makers can feel seen, encouraged, and reminded that they're not the only ones doing this. And guess what? I will keep the episodes coming because hearing from you and knowing that I'm making an impact is everything to me. So let's bring this back to you. Ask yourself, what's one commitment that could serve as your anchor this season? What holds you down, brings you joy, keeps the momentum going, even during a down season? What's one creative ritual that you can return to when life gets hard? Because you know it's going to get hard at some point. And how can you protect it, even when you don't feel like it? Maybe it's your studio time. Maybe it's journaling. Maybe it's writing that weekly email or monthly email, or spending Sunday nights sketching your new collection or your new work. Whatever it is, make it a ritual, not a burden, a rhythm. Because ritual doesn't take your freedom, it gives it back to you. This podcast, this ritual, has been my anchor. It kept me out of the darker corners of depression that used to swallow months of my life. It's helped me remember that forward motion, even small motion, matters. And it's helped me discover joy in the work itself, not just the outcome, not just the income, but enjoying the work again. If you've been feeling that same pull, that creative restlessness, try this. Pick something that matters to you and commit to it for 4 weeks. No perfection, no pressure, just presence. If you miss a day, just get up and start the next one. No judgment. And if this show has meant something to you, it would mean the world to me if you'd leave a review. Share it with a fellow maker or post a quick screenshot on your stories. That's how we keep this movement growing. How we remind each other that what we do matters. This podcast is my ritual, and it's freed me in ways I did not expect. Thank you to those who have taken the time to email and leave reviews. I see you and I adore you. I'm here for you. Commitment does not trap you, it frees you. And the ritual of showing up for your dream again and again is going to carry you farther than motivation ever could. Next week, I'm going to close this 3-part series in celebration of my 1-year anniversary with episode 53. We're going to talk about reflection and freedom. And we're going to turn your reflections from this year into a strategic plan for next year, designing a rhythm that feeds your creativity and does not drain it, with gratitude, intention, and yes, a little freedom built in. Thank you for letting me be your host. Thank you for showing up whenever you can, if it's every week, if it's once a month. I'll be here for you. I'm going to keep going. I appreciate your support. Onward and upward. See you next week. Thanks for listening to The Jeweler's View. If today's episode gave you something to think about, consider sending it to a friend or share it on social and tag me at Courtney Gray Arts. You'll find tools, coaching, resources, and the Transform course at CourtneyGrayArts.com. And if no one's told you this lately, remember, you're not behind. You're becoming exactly the kind of maker your business needs. And that kind of depth, it takes time. I'll be back next week, same time, same tough love. Onward and upward.